machines can do it. So we've got a road legal unit today. It's called the W875. It can drive on the highway at 50 kilometers an hour. It doesn't need to be transported to site. We did want to launch it on our slightly smaller model, which is the 675. And that unit is a way of getting hydrogen and HVO conversion. So it would have been lovely to have our low carbon machine delivering a low carbon repair, but things don't always work out. It is brand new, it's UK first. So we're going to be basically showing how the process works. In effect, you're recycling the existing surface course down to 100 mil in depth, and the entire solution enables you to plane. There's three stages really. The first stage will allow you to plane and crush the material. The second phase then enables you to mix the rejuvenator product, and then the third phase just gives a final mixing, and then you're just ready for compaction. The intention is to run this on a slightly smaller model, driven by HVO and hydrogen, with a compactor on the back. I'm just giving him the thumbs up because I think we're good to get going, otherwise I'll just waffle for days and you'll see nothing. So the guy driving today's deck, he works on one of our highways contracts. So Multivo deliver highway services up and down the UK. What makes us different is we're multifaceted. So we've got a highways division, we've got a vegetation and arboricultural division. We also deliver civils works, and as well as that we deliver traffic management. Everything that we do in-house, and we deliver it end-to-end. So the entire process is driven and operated by Multivo. So when we're working on the highway, that includes pre-site surveys, understanding what the condition of the asset is, through to programming, planning that works, and then through to the delivery of the equipment, the actual service itself. So we're basically going to do an in-situ repair. I think it's about 5 meters in length. We're going to do a strip to demonstrate. Of course, this solution works only on asphalt. We don't really know what's under this. It looks like it's an old industrial base, but we'll soon find out. What you'll find with this repair is it's a lot less disruptive than a conventional standard patching, if you will. So when we're traditionally doing this job, we are carrying out with a similar road legal planer, but then we've also got like a hot box on site. We'll have a sweeper usually. All of this additional vehicles and plant isn't needed. So you'll find that it's a quick solution for repairing our roads using the existing asset. So I want to give him another thumbs up to see if we can get going. Yeah, go on deck, over to you, pal. Give the people what they want. So what Deck will do, and to be fair to Deck, this team are a team that work on one of our county council highways contracts. They actually volunteered themselves to be doing this today, so usually we'd have our demo team and training manager. But after 3 days in the machine, Deck were that confident running to steal the limelight, if you will. So fair play to them. I want you all to make sure at the end of this you give them a round of applause, because it's out of their comfort zone a bit, and I think any new product, it always takes guts to bring it to market in front of an audience. So what Deck's going to do in the first instance is activate the PTO on the machine, which will drive the planer head. That planer head is 1 meter in width. He will then set the depth of the cut, which can be, as I say, down to 100 mil. He's probably going to set this at around 40 mil for demonstration purposes today. That's typically what depth we're working to on contracts. Once he's done that, he opens up the second chamber of the attachment, which is the crushing mechanism. So this will refine the millings and basically create a sound product that we can then rejuvenate. He'll set the cruise control in the cab to about 1 kilometre advanced speed, and very similar to a standard planer. This first bit, what makes it a bit more unique is this crushing mechanism. So if you imagine, there's almost 2 drums in there, one for milling the asphalt and one for crushing. They will also, you'll see very simply that it's on skids. The operator can see what depth it's going to instruct to the driver there. And once he's in, he will then crack on and move forward. So this is no different in terms of what it looks like. This will be no different to your standard framing operation really. As I say, we've been trialling this on a county council contract now for a short period of time, and truth be told, the results for us have been really good. The client is also really satisfied, and I think any solution that can reduce carbon whilst producing a long-lasting repair and potentially reduce costs as well as disruption is a real win for the industry. We're going to be rolling this out as a service, focusing primarily on supporting our existing contracts, with a view to in the future supporting other organisations that might want to deliver this themselves. But certainly for the first part, we'll be focusing on delivering this as an end-to-end service within the suite of treatments that we provide. So, from a contracting point of view, we primarily work within potholes and patching, small surfacing works. We're typically using the Multivo machines with flares on and dust suppression for patching works. And doing that service, delivering that service alone, we've been able to really get top of the index. We won 2 awards last year, one for Highway Team of the Year, and also the Collaborative Partnership Award with Yorkshire Council. That was based on the impact that we've had on the network using standard patching techniques. On that particular contract, we've been able to save the council about £1.5 million a year, reducing the cost of repair by 75%. And they've got the network from 8,500 potholes down to around about 2,000. So we're confident by introducing innovations such as this one, such as other treatments that we deliver within our armoury of repairs, that we're able to really make a difference. And the trials we've done so far of this we're really impressed with. So that's just the milling and the crushing stage of the process. The next phase is now incorporating the rejuvenator additive, or as I like to call it, the secret sauce. Yeah, I'm not very technical. Well, that product, that rejuvenator product, is what brings life back to that existing asset. So what you'll find is if there is any voids, because there's some really deep potholes within the patches that we're repairing, what we will typically do is add in just road planings to make the difference. And I asked the guys earlier, how often are you doing that? And they said it's probably about 20% of the time that they'll add them extra road planings in. But the beauty about it is you're not adding any fresh virgin asphalt, and of course that means you're reducing costs. You're not having to shift the planings away, which again is an extra cost. and you're not having to add any new material in. You're simply reusing what's in the ground. So the second phase will be where we start to incorporate this regenerative process. And the way that he will calibrate that is the system detects what depth you're working to, which is controlled in the cab. It also detects the forward advance speed that the operator is driving at. And there's a traffic light system which is facing the operator on the attachment. So that just enables him to know what forward speed to work at. You can control that through a cruise control feature as well. And if he needs to slow down, he'll just put his foot on the clutch. So it's calibrated according to depth and forward advance speed. So he's now put down the measuring disc, as you can see, and he'll be activating the nozzles that are on the front of the drum there. We're going to begin the process with rejuvenation of that milled material that's also been finely crushed. He'll understand what speed he's going to go at according to this traffic light system that's on the front of the attachment facing the driver. So you can see today we've got 3 operatives around the machine. In reality, once this process is finessed, I think you could do with the operator in the cab and then maybe 2 additional operatives on site. This system as part of our pothole patching contract. So we've been doing anything from a 1 or 2 square metre repair through to maybe 10, 15 square metres. So we're doing relatively small scale repairs at the minute. But you can see this would definitely work on maybe haulage repairs. I think if you've got trenches that are a long linear metre, you can use the attachment side by side as well if you've got wider than a metre of repair that you need to do. So productivity could certainly be really good on this machine. I think we're average about 150 square at the minute, but if you've got long grips, you're going to do a lot more than that. So he's added the rejuvenator into the milled materials that has been crushed. And the final stage is simply to further mix that product. What he'll be doing next is simply running that planer drum over that milled product to mix the materials. So the guys are just moving the regenerated planings about ready for that final mixing process. As I say, we've this is new to the UK. We've been doing trialing this system for a number of months, probably less, if truth be told. But the results so far that we've seen and that our clients have seen have been really positive, and they're really happy with how the repairs have been appearing physically. The test will be in how long they last, but the factory have reassured us that from initial prototype phases, that they've got repairs that are 2 to 3 year old, which is as old as the prototype's been in development. You'll find with this product, the material, it's obviously not fresh material, but that bituminous rejuvenator creates a binding effect on that milled material, and it basically, once it's been compacted, it might sit a little bit proud over the repair, but then the process takes about a day, possibly 2 days, depending on temperature, to set. But we open this repair to traffic instantly, because traffic helps with the compaction, if you will. So as I say, that final process is simply mixing the rejuvenated product. So what are the benefits of this repair? We're saving carbon. When we looked at this with the tool carrier removal machine, which, as I say, will be a slightly smaller hydrogen HV operating machine, the only thing we're really doing, which is carbon, affecting carbon, is the rejuvenator, which is, again, in itself a low carbon product. We reckon that this repair will be the lowest carbon repair that there is available on the market. So from saving carbon, it's definitely a big winner. In addition to that, we've also not had to transport products, materials that we claimed away. We're not having to store that and potentially pay for that waste product. And we've got a batch which is ready for instant compaction. So you'll see the materials change in colour. An oxidization process, as I say, I've got scientists. And the guys will simply now break the material and compact it. So as I say, when this operation arrives on site, as it has been on one of our county council customers, you've got this machine travelling to site itself. The only other vehicle you really need is a tipper with a roller behind it. The plan is to, on the smaller model of this, so like I say, this machine will be going smaller in size on our service delivery. It'll also have hydrogen on. We're also integrating a tank on the back, which we will store more rejuvenated product, which will feed into the tank that's already in the attachment itself, for allowing us to replenish that tank automatically. And then the plan is to develop it further, so this machine can also have attachments on the back of the unit. So moving forwards, we're going to develop a compactor, a roller that will sit on the back of that unit, so we won't actually need to take a roller to site. We were doing trials initially with a ride-on, but we've moved to a pedestrian roller because we don't want to over-compact the patch, because as you start to set the material, it will start to form, and so, as I say, it might sit a little bit proud. But all the guys will do now is like you would do in a normal material really, is rake it and roll it. As I say, all we'll do is compacting it. If I suppose once we finish this demo, we'll you'll be able to have a look at the patch itself, and you'll see how you'll see and be able to feel it close up. As I say, we've been trialling this for a relatively short period of time in the UK, but we have got patches from the factory that are 2 to 3 years old and rolled into the machine. So all we'll do now is compact it as you would expect a normal patch. Feedback has been aesthetically the patches look as like a laid new material. As I say, you'll be able to go and have a look at these yourselves. And to be fair, if the Innovation Festival's on next year, we'll be able to have a look. Thanks for that, East Riding Yorkshire. Notice the difference, I would imagine, if you come back tomorrow and have a look. What we might do is just go around the edges with the blade. I think the intention is to integrate this with an electric roller as well. If you've looked at the Multivo stand, you'll probably see that we have got an electric roller and very well as an electric blade. And 4 of our multi-purpose machines that we operate as a contractor and also supply to local authorities. So you've got to give it to the guys. These guys are working typically in patching crews for Multivo, and I think the amount of time the deck we operate out of this machine is probably, because we move crews, it's 3 days. So I think fair play to the lads. It's a hot day.